what am I recovering from? Or what did I go into recovery for? Well, it was all confusing in just my head at first. I just knew in my heart that something was wrong. Actually, probably lived with depression for many years, and I didn't know it. I was still able to function to some degree, but I always had like a cloud, heaviness, rejection, um, just feeling really lost and fragmented. And I couldn't even make sense of it in my own head. My poor, sweet husband, like, seriously, he's a saint because he probably racked his head trying to figure out what is wrong with my wife and how do I reach her? How do I help her? And like, he just couldn't. He didn't have a degree in counseling. I did mention my husband, but I think that's okay because I'm actually giving him some big kudos and he's part of this journey for reals. So, I would just go for like a week or two. Something would, whatever happen or trigger, and I would just go into myself, like into my shell, and I would go into the bedroom, and it would be like my safe cave. And it's not like I felt wonderful in there. I just had to block things out. I just had to like focus. Just feeling lost. And the funny thing was, or what I thought was funny, it's not really funny, is like, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. And I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, okay, yeah, so I believe in Jesus and I'm like saved, right? But so this doesn't make sense that I feel like crap. And so I just kind of in my head, I kind of said to myself, well, I just need to like pray more. I just need to do more Bible studies. I need to be involved in church and, and then just all that stuff. And then I'm just going to be good. Like I'm going to pull out of this or whatever. It's just something that was inside here. I didn't even really say it. And that didn't work. So I didn't say anything to anybody in the church. I didn't know that you could say something. Is that crazy or what? I didn't know that you should say something. Like, that's just the way I grew up. It was all inside here, all my thoughts. Yeah, that's like, it's okay. That's kind of sad that I didn't even know that you could talk, you should say something, you should ask for help. It just wasn't what I saw. So nobody's fault. I'm just saying that's just the way it was. So it's just all in here. Like again, my poor sweet husband gets the Saint of the Year award for those different years. He was helpless. And so anyway, that's just kind of that's where I kind of realized that things weren't getting better and something's just not working. Okay, so maybe that's where you're at and like you can't explain it. And I'm like, am I crazy? Don't answer that, by the way. But it's kind of like, am I crazy? I've got a good husband. I've got 2 beautiful children. I don't even have to work outside the house. My husband's that gracious that we didn't have new cars. We didn't have fancy house or decorations, but I didn't want that, all that kind of stuff. I wanted, just to have a simple life, raise my own kids. And I had all this stuff going for me. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, what? Why aren't I more thankful? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? So if you're feeling that way and like something's just not right, well, okay, you're okay. Like, there probably is something that's not quite right, even though you have many blessings in your life. So I guess I'm just going to end with that, is like, if you are feeling that something's just not going right in here, like even though on the outside everything looks good, that in your heart there's like turmoil, all this kind of stuff, that's a good indication that you need some connection with this, and you need to reach out and say it and get some help. And okay, I already know what I'm talking about next. Like, Don't be ashamed to do that. Don't be ashamed to ask for help.